Sige, go. Start na po, reporters. So, good afternoon, everyone. To formally our discussion today, let's have a prayer first. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, amen. Our most gracious and heavenly Father in heaven, thank you for all the blessings that you bestowed upon us, for protecting us, and for guiding us. I hope that you will enlighten everyone's mind to understand the lesson that we are about to tackle this afternoon. This all we ask and pray to the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, good afternoon again. The virtual floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, my topic is teaching and learning must be supported by instructional materials. Next slide po. Mintiza. So, teaching has been always been a challenging profession since knowledge has been precipitously expanding as essential skills have been incessantly increasing and changing. So what is instructional materials? Instructional materials are the content or information conveyed within a course. So this is include the lectures, readings, textbooks, multimedia components, and other resources in a course. Next slide po. So there are factors to be considered in constructing an effective instructional materials. We are aware that students are unique individuals and there are important factors to be considered in constructing an effective instructional materials. So here are the factors: diverse users' interests. So we need to really understand or i-diverse na to ang una para masabta na tog maayo ang IMs. So abilities, backgrounds, cultures, languages, and maturity levels. So next is the criteria for evaluating instructional materials. So criteria for next slide sa the student will really understand what is your content is. Second is equity and accessibility. So IMs need to be easy to access, and equity in education means that the definition of fairness. So all students need to reach at least a minimum level of skills. Next slide po. Next is appropriateness. So appropriateness, materials are appropriate for the subject matter and also appropriate for the learner's capacity or levels of learning. So IMs in creating an IMs provide the basis for what learners will experience and learn. So dapat appropriate imong ang buhaton para masabtan og dali sa learners. Next is presentation. So presentation, comprehensive of student and teacher resources, alignment of instructional components, organization of instructional materials, readability of instructional materials, pacing of content, ease of use, and durability of materials. So, in presentation, we must deliver content through oral and visual. Also, presentation, also through presentation, teachers can clearly introduce difficult concept by presenting it. Um, Next is learning. Motivational strategies teaching a few big ideas, explicit instruction, guidance and support, active participation of students, targeted instructional strategies, targeted assessment and strategies. So learning, I am introduced to help the learner to understand the topic. Students are teachers uh, or need to learn. So next is, lastly is cost. The material used for teaching should not be expensive as long as it is captivating and catches the attention of the students and it's an effective instructional material. So, pwede na siya dili kayo gastuhan as long as masabtan na sa student ang lesson nga imuhang i-present. Next po. So, that's all for the teaching and learning supported by instructional materials. Okay. So, what is the importance of instructional materials? So, in the PPT, the importance of instructional materials or educational resources is to improve student knowledge, abilities, and skills, and to monitor their assimilation of information and to contribute to their overall development upbringing. So IMs is important because it provides the core information that student will experience, learn, and apply during a course. So proceed na ko sa next topic ko. Or napay next. Okay, the continuation of my report is the role of technology in curriculum delivery. So, instructional media may also be referred to as media and technology or learning technology or simply technology. Technology plays a crucial role in delivering instruction to learners. Technology offers various tools of learning and this range from non-projected and projected media from which the teacher can choose depending on what he says with the intended instructional setting. So, role of technology in curriculum delivery, it helps teachers to choose their teaching approach and help learners to achieve their goal and objective. So, instructional designer and we educator need to factor in the role of technology curriculum.
Kato matatong combo yung gipalit di. Ina na ko gang dangog ko katong combo. Kato na lang bento.
So technology component that generally uses computers to support various learning activities. Through the use of computers, various teaching modes happen.
Ay, anak na ni Kuan, Dudoy.
Ha?
Anak na ni Dudo.
Dudo.
Dudo unting.
Ila ka ni. Dumdum ko sila ha.
Oh.
Wait lang.
13 sa kon makuha naman to sa pagabuntag sa 14 sa iyo. Katod na to. Dali naman kay.
Kana daw?
Dali naman ang kon deliver ni kay taga dito naman.
Daw.
Okay, pa next slide ko.
Ano klaro?
So technology component that generally uses computers to support various learning activities. Through the use of computers, various teaching modes happen. To have an effective online interaction environment, facilities must be available and are very to access. So the role of technology in curriculum development in higher education has
Klaro to.
revolutionized
Anak pa
the
yun ni
learning
Dudo.
process. Incorporating technology in the curriculum offers a dynamic as well as a collaborative learning experience to students.
Ping-ping. Paano to dire? Di ba
So,
nato dalan na pa ubos?
Ilailin ni asa lang malay po. Dito lang po
At
na
daw po.
isa
students, the new generation
Dulog ito
students,
dito.
technology
Dulog
means
ito
not
dulog
only
ni
quick
Glenn,
access to
ilang,
broad
walay kanto.
spectrum of
sa nila ni.
knowledge, but
Kay
also
kay mama daw kay Lini,
interesting
mama sa uyab.
way of learning.
Di nakalibre kung isa.
Dudot.
Next slide
Dili
po.
saan ba? Kung babae.
Sige, next slide pa. Ay, okay. It can be easily observed that technology innovation in the multifarious field of commerce, science, and education is the fast developing, such as it is difficult to foresee the technology of evolution in the millennium, inclusive of educational changes. For certain, however, technological changes in education it may impact on delivery of more effective and efficient and humanizing teaching and learning. So we all know that because of technology, our learnings for to maka-learn ta in technology, so dako ka siya tabang sa tuwa karon. So mas effective siya, tapos mas efficient and
Yaway. Tama.
tapos dili po siya hassle para okay, next slide.
Punit niya.
Punit niya.
Nga. Nakamutang. Kabalo ko makaya ni Luna. You are so
So for now, the primary rules of educational technology in delivering the school curriculums, instructional program have been identified. So here are the factors of the rules of technology in curriculum delivery. So upgrading the quality of teaching and learning in schools. So here it says that
Ikaw, si
we
Kalo
can
Wala.
the teacher teach us in online classes like this. So next, increasing the capability of teachers to effectively inculcate learning and for students to gain mastery of lesson and courses. So mas easy na sa uban student kag mas gusto og online class kay mas ma-master nila and mas madagan sila mag-gain nga knowledge if online class lang kay more on technology, maka-google, ana-ana. So next is broadening the education outside school through non-traditional approaches to formal and formal learning, such as open universities and lifelong learning to adult learners. So it says here nga, mas ma-deliver ang education outside the school because kaya nga kay na may technology so magamit siya as mas magamit siya og dugay. So last kay revolutionizing the use of technology to both educational paradigm shift that gave importance student-centered and holistic learning.
Bata pa lagi ito isa di.
So, ang technology
Pwede din po yun.
daw kay makabuo sa educational sa
Trabahante ba na siya?
ato ang mga student and it can give us importance so mas easy jud pag naay technology pag magklase ta kay para agad patag mas masabtan. Okay, thank you. That's all for the topic. Next, na po? Napa po yung report? Rice? Iris?
Naapa pero sa pinakalas ka po.
Amaw na to ako alas katong sa Skatel.
Napakailas katong sa stakeholders good. Sa ato po.
Octo. Pakiulit mo.
So, good afternoon, everyone. To continue the discussion on lesson 4.4, the stakeholders in curriculum implementation. So, Mr. Lopez had already discussed one of the stakeholders are the students. So, today we will be dwelling with another stakeholders, which are
Pakuya ba na siya motor lang.
so
Pagkan magtail lang akong driver.
teachers are curricularists. The the
Klase pa ko
slide po.
Ah, ay wala pa 254 pa. 255 na. Uy, tinog.
Can someone read the slide? Ay, madungog ko po.
Mag-charge mo ni magbaliblo lagi naman. Huwag mo na puno dito.
Yes, please.
Daghang.
Yes, go ahead, Miss Abanan.
Good afternoon, Miss. Am I audible po?
Yes po.
Okay, so, uh, teachers are curricularists involved in curriculum knowing, writing, planning, implementing, evaluating, innovating, and initiating. Apilon kaning sa kwan, Miss Samuels.
Dra lang to. Thank you. So, teachers are curricularists. So, makaingon ta nga ang teacher is a curricularist because he or she is involved in the curriculum knowing, writing, planning, implementing, evaluating, and initiating. So there is no most important stakeholders in curriculum implementation is the teacher. A teacher designs, enriches, and modifies the curriculum to fit the learner's characteristics. So teacher are stakeholders who plan, design, teach, and implement and evaluate the curriculum. So we can say that when a curriculum has been written, the teacher's role is to implement it like a technician. So, already no technician kaya nang mag-ayo og kanang daghan. Teachers also are like technicians. However, teachers are reflective. So, do you have any idea why teachers are called reflective persons? Anyone? Ano ginatawag ang mga teachers as reflective persons? An idea from the class? Yes, go ahead, Miss Alaysay.
Good morning, good afternoon, Miss. So, for me po, teachers are being called as reflective po because for me lang ni Miss Sakay, di ba po, ang teachers serves as our second parent. Then for me po, if unsa ang ginapakita na actions or unsa ang attitude or behavior nga ginapakita sa teacher, then kanang maka-reflect or maka-affect na siya sa students' learning and also kung sa magud ang makita sa students kay mao pud nilang i-apply sa ilang sa ilang daily life good miss kay murag feel nila ang teacher mo man gud na ang role model. So kung unsa ang ginapakita sa teacher then sunon pud sa students. So mo na dapat na ang teacher kanang good example jud siya sa iyang mga students kay if negative or negativity iyang mapakita sa iyang students then dili siya mahimong effective teacher.
Thank you so much. So correct na siya no. So when we can say that a teacher is a reflective person. It is because they put their hearts into what they do. Sa gingon ni Miss Alaysay kaganiha nga they are role models sa mga students. Kung unsa gibuhat sa teacher, sundo na siya sa students. So they are very very mindful that in the center of everything they do is the learner. So tanan-tanan nga gibuhat sa teacher kay ang naa jud ana, center ana is ang learners, which is dapat ang mga learners maka-gain og knowledge from the teacher. So next so here are some rules that the teachers do. There are a lot of rules teachers have in a curriculum implementation, but these are just some of it. So they are the ones who are guiding, facilitating, and directing the activities of the learners. choosing the activity and the method to be utilized, choosing the materials that are necessary for the activity, evaluating the whole implementation process, and making a decision whether to continue, modify, or terminate the curriculum. So, truly, that teachers has a great stake in the curriculum. Curriculum planning, designing, and implementing are in the hands of a good teacher.
Or, di
It
ba
is
naman?
clear that the teacher has a very significant role in curriculum development. So, ang teacher jud ang pinakadako og kanang role sa curriculum implementation kay 'di ba as what I have said a while ago, they put everything into what they do, and they are very mindful that an everything nilang gibuhat is ang ilang learner. So, aside from students, parents, ang pinakadakog role jud sa curriculum kay ang teacher. Kay sa ilahaman salalay ang kaugmaon sa mga estudyante. That would be all. Let's proceed with Miss Hardinico to continue the discussion po.
Chupa nila rin magkunoy. Puro Canva naman na ilahang.
Alright, so good afternoon once again. So I'm going to continue the topic of the lesson. So can anyone wants to read this slide? Okay, Miss Sabanal, go ahead.
So school leaders are curriculum managers. Principals and school heads too have important roles in curriculum implementation process in schools. They should understand fully the need for change and the implementation process. They should be ready to assist the teachers and the students in the implementation. Communication lines should be open to all concerned. Should the school leaders lead in curriculum teamwork?
Alright, so thank you, Miss Sabanal. So as we observe or as we see the PPT, so these two curriculum managers has an important role in the curriculum now because first the principals because they are responsible for ensuring that the curriculum is aligned with school missions and visions, meet the state and national standard, and provide students with high quality education. And for the school head or the head teacher she is or he is responsible for overseeing the implementation of the curriculum at the classroom level. So let's proceed to the next slide. So who wants to read this context? Okay, Miss Tilio, go ahead.
School leaders are curriculum managers. Principal. I am a principal of a big central elementary school. It is a part of my function to lead my school in any curriculum innovation. First of all, I make sure that my teachers understand the restructuring or alteration of our school curriculum that is forthcoming. I also call on the parents to participate in the change that will happen by keeping them informed. I have to make sure that materials needed are available for the teachers and students to use. I always keep in mind my role as an instructional leader.
Alright, so thank you, Miss Tilio. So principal. So we all know na kung unsay kanang what is the role of principal sa school. So as the leader of the school, the principal is responsible for overseeing all aspects of the curriculum, including its development, implementation, and evaluation. This includes working with teacher to develop lesson plans and instructional materials, monitoring students' progress and achievements, and making adjustments to the curriculum as needed. So, in addition, the principal is responsible for ensuring that the curriculum is equitable and inclusive. This means that all students have the access to high quality instruction and resources regardless of their background or activity. Furthermore, the principal plays, as I said earlier, no, the principal plays a key role in ensuring that teachers are properly trained and supported in the implementing of curriculum. This includes providing professional development opportunities and monitoring new teachers, and lastly, providing ongoing support to all teachers. So let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, who wants to read this whole text? Okay, Miss Maghanay, go ahead.
Good afternoon. Am I audible po?
Yes, Miss, you are.
Okay, school leaders are curriculum managers. Head teacher. Leading a small school in a far-flung barrio has its pros and cons. First, there are few teachers to supervise and fewer students to support. As a proactive school head, I always see to it that we keep pace with the changes in the school curriculum. While preparing for the implementation of K-12, I realized that change process is inevitable. My teachers have to be retrained and their attitudes should be changed. I am responsible in seeing to it that the curriculum is implemented as it should. And at the end of the year, our school can show evidence that learning has taken place as designed by the K-12 recommended curriculum.
Alright, so thank you, Miss Maghanoy. No, so one of um an important no kana manager in curriculum daw is school head, because they are responsible for overseeing the implementation of the curriculum at the classroom level, as I said earlier. So as a leader within the school, the school head is responsible for working with teachers to ensure that the curriculum is being implemented effectively and that the students are making progress towards their learning goals. Um, this includes providing guidance and support to teachers as they develop lesson plans and instructional materials, monitoring students' progress and achievement, and making adjustments to the curriculum as needed. So these were my reports, and please proceed to the next reporter. Thank you for listening, guys.
So let's proceed with Miss Eliza po. Siya ang next nga report. Mag-report di ay.
Check balon ni mo ron.
Kasi mong tubig lang.
Sulod na.
Wala ka nagbalog tubig na?
Si Papa biyawa dia kay. Pon si Mama dia. Terus Papa ni. Goblok Papa ni. Ako. Okay, pa.
Good afternoon. Makita ang PPT.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Okay. So,
So many 100. Noon ni ba?
okay, let's start the discussion. So, before we proceed to the discussion of the topic community as a curriculum, resources, and learning environment, first, let me introduce to you the statement of the former First Lady Hillary Clinton, where she stated that it takes a whole village to educate a child. Now, class, for your own interpretation, what does this mean? Anyone? Yes. Um, Ms. Molinog, please proceed po. Share your own opinion about the statement of Hillary Clinton.
So for me lang niha the statement means ano kanang uh, people of the community should interact with the children in order for them to experience and grow in a safe and healthy environment and also to educate them. That's all po.
Okay, thank you for that, Miss Patricia. That was a good point. Any other idea? Anyone? Another thought kasi na may laing opinion dira. Yes, Miss Ramilin.
Good afternoon. So based on my understanding, for me it is about the experience of the child that in where they meet a lot of people, and those people could also help them gain knowledge about the world, not just they cannot just learn something from school, they could also learn something from others po, parang ganun. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Miss Ramilin. That was also a good point. So, okay, since you already share your own opinion, let me share my own too. So, I think for my own understanding, the statement means that raising and educating a child is not just the responsibility of the child parents or the family members, because it is also the responsibility of the entire community, where every member of the community, like for example the teachers, neighbors, friends, and family members, should unite together in order to provide the children or students the support, the guidance, and education that they needed in order to succeed in life, and also for them to be prepared for their future endeavor in the society. Okay, so that is my interpretation of the statement of Hillary Clinton. Now, this statement of Hillary Clinton actually relates to the idea of community as curriculum, resources, and learning environment, where she stated that the importance of community and cooperation among the community members in supporting the education of the children. Now, to further understand the idea of community as a curriculum, resources, and learning environment, can somebody please read the next slide? Yes, Miss Saraysay.
The school is in the community, hence the community is the extended school ground, a learning environment. All the barangay leaders, the elders, other citizens, and residents of the community have a stake in the curriculum. It is the bigger school community that becomes the venue of learning. The rich natural and human resources of the community can assist in educating the children. The community is the reflection of the school's influence, and the school is a reflection of the community support.
Okay, thank you for that, Miss Raysay. So, basically, class, this means that the idea of a child, no, where in education it is not just to what is taught inside the classroom, but also it extends to the broader community, where the community can serve as a valuable resources for the curriculum, considering that it provides a rich learning environment that includes not only the school but also to the people culture, and natural resources in the community. Also, class, these statements also suggest that all members of the society um, have a stake in the curriculum, including barangay leader, elders, citizens, and residents, where they can actively participate in the curriculum development process, provide feedback and suggestion, and collaborate with the school to enhance the learning of the children. Basically, it highlights the importance of community involvement in education and how community resources and the support can contribute to the success of the children's learning. Okay, class. To further have a concrete idea kuan what is an example of a community resources um, that can be included in the curriculum. It can be, for example, the local museum, parks, businesses, libraries, and historical sites. So I think that would be more at akong report. So that is the curriculum resources, community as a curriculum resources and learning environment.
So the last reporter will be Miss Lakungan po.
Okay, so this is the continuation of the stakeholders in curriculum implementation. So parents are significant school partners. Beside the students, teachers and school administrators play an important role in curriculum implementation. Next slide na. So they can also be tapped in various curricular activities as chaperones to children in boy and girl scouting. So parents are significant school partners. So principal and school leads to have an important role in curriculum implementation process in school, but also the parents has significant significant school partners. Next slide po. So how do parents help shape the curriculum in schools? Here are some observations. The school composed of parents who are positively involved in school activities have better achievement than students are highly motivated. When parents take interest in their child's learning, they become closer to the school. So there are school that dili sila gusto nga naay parents magapil-apil in student learning. So mas nice jud if ang ang parent is duol sa sa eskwelahan and sa mga teacher para mag-communicate og tarong ang teacher og ang parent sa student to help the student in learning. So next slide. So how the parents help shape the curriculum in schools? Here are some observation. The home is the extended school environment. In lifelong learning, the achieved learning in schools are transferred at the home. Thus, the home becomes the laboratory of learning. Parents see to it what children learn in school. There are practice at home. They follow up lessons. So, the parents follow up the lesson of their children. So they provide curriculum materials that are not provided in school, provide permission of their children to participate in various activities outside the campus. So how the parent, next slide po. So how do parents help the curriculum in schools? So in some cases, this organization also includes teachers to expand the school learning community. Mini school projects and activities are supported by the organization. This is considered as the best practice in most performing schools. So effective parental involvement in school affairs may be linked to parent educational program which is central to high quality educational experience of the children. So the result to a better communication between home and school. In this case, there will be lesser disciplinary problems, greater student motivation, and more responsibility for learning. So, pa next slide po, Miss Alyssa. Eh, di ba ako siya po na tong last, rice, katong others. Siguro ito taman ang sa parents. Katong other stakeholders in curriculum implementation.
Ay, mo hagapin ko po.
Wala na ako. Wala po
may
yun ako na-include sa PPT. Wala na ako na-include sa PPT ang last part sa akong report.
Ay, i-state na lang.
Apo.
Na lang.
Sige, other stakeholder implementation. So the other stakeholders in curriculum implementation is the professional organization. They are being asked by the curriculum especially to contribute in curriculum review because they have voice in licensure examination and curriculum enhancement and others. So next is the government. It is a great stake in the curriculum implementation. It is represented by DepEd for basic education curricula and CHED for um, tertiary and graduate education curricula. Next is the professional regulation and commission. The third agency that has high stake in school curricula because graduates of the different tertiary degrees must be certified as professional. The PRC, through the Professional Regulatory Board, conducts examination for some degree programs such as LET. So while the Supreme Court has professional bar exam to certify lawyers in the Philippines, medical association through its medical board exam for licensure examination for doctors. So that's all for my report po. Thank you.
So that's the end of our report. So any questions po? Clarification? Wala question. So mo-proceed na lang ko sa checking of attendance po. Kindly say present if I call your name po. Mag-base lang ko diri sa kuan ha. So, blanco. Nga si Beb. Dapas Christian.
Naa po.
Kaguyong.
Present po.
Iben.
Eben present, Miss.
Fabroa. Dan natulog ni si Flair ba? Masukot.
Datuleta po is present.
Yes. Alright. Maghanoy.
Magano'y present, Miss.
Mga. Mantalaba.
Dalaba present po.
Manjolin.
Manjolin present po.
Naliada.
Present.
Ondoy.
Present, Miss.
Ordaneza.
Vanessa present, Miss.
Rundina.
Present po.
Andres.
Present po.
Lanas.
Present, Miss.
Sabanal.
Present, Miss.
Salaysay.
Salaysay present, Miss.
Sinalinog.
Present, Miss.
Kapitran.
Present po, Miss.
Silio. So, wala na may questions, no? Wala ba yung further instructions si Miss? Ayan,
Miss,
po,
present
manana,
po.
ano na natin.
Present ko, Miss.
Say nag-PM po.
Wala na ba yung instructions si Miss?
So, mula raman yana siya mag-discuss lang daw. Katong party niya tapos continue sa inyo ang report. So, murag humana naman proceed na punta sa lain nga report which is group 4.
Yes,
Po,
take
4 na po.
Kami na, mag-start na ko.
Yes, Miss.
Umano na to ang time ni Miss or maglapas na sa time?
Time lang ni Miss po.
So good afternoon, guys. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, let's start. So good afternoon, everyone. We are the group 4 and we will tackle module 5, the curriculum evaluation and the teacher. So I am Maria Jusman Maghanoy, today's first reporter. So let's start off with lesson 5.1, why and how to evaluate a curriculum. Okay, desired learning outcomes. Okay, so acquire clear understanding of what curriculum evaluation is, explain the need to evaluate the curriculum and how it's being done, and expand knowledge about different curriculum evaluation models. So let's have first a very short and easy activity. So what words can you associate with the word curriculum? Okay, go ahead, Miss Sumalinog.
For me po, integration or implementation.
Okay, integration and implementation. So how about the others? Can you think of a word that you can associate with the word curriculum? Is there any other idea? Okay, Mr. Lopez.
For me, no curriculum is a standard-based sequence of planned experiences where students practice and achieve proficiency in content and applied learning skills. So, curriculum is very important and it is the central guide for all education as to what is essential for teaching and learning. So that's all.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Sumalinog and Mr. Lopez. No, so the words you associated with curriculum are planned experiences, mga learning materials, academic content, lessons, and etc. So, next. So, how about evaluation? What words can you associate with this word? The evaluation. Okay, Mr. Lopez again.
Ay, ganyan na ito nag-stop. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Malinog, how about you?
Learning assessments.
Learning assessments. So how about the others? Can you think of a word that you can associate with evaluation? Okay, Ms. Salaysay.
Students understanding po.
Okay. So thank you, Ms. Salaysay and Ms. Sumalinog. So evaluation means to judge or examine something's quantity to determine its worth and can use the results to improve something. So with evaluation, you can associate to judge or examine. So if we combine both curriculum and evaluation, it is examining the value and worth of the lessons, the planned experiences, and more in school to improve because it is necessary. Let's proceed to another. So curriculum evaluation. So can someone please read the slide? Okay, Miss Eben.
Curriculum evaluation is a component of curriculum development that responds to public accountability. It is establishing the merit and the worth of curriculum. The test results will only be used as one of the pieces of evidence of evaluation. The things to remember, the purpose of evaluation is to improve and not to prove.
Okay, thank you, Miss Eben. So when we say curriculum development, di ba, very obvious na yung meaning. It is a systematic process used to create improvements sa programs, content sa curriculum, and everything that is happening sa school. So with that, one of the components to make improvements sa curriculum is the very important phase called curriculum evaluation. So for us to make decisions on how to improve the curriculum, we need to examine the curriculum itself, everything the curriculum contains. So we should remember na ang purpose of evaluation evaluation is to improve and not to prove. So although through this madiscover nato if the curriculum is fulfilling its purpose, if the planned courses, mga program ug mga activities produce if nag-produce ba sila og desired outcomes, if the students really benefited sa curriculum na they are under. Although mauna siya, at the end of the day, its purpose is to change or improve the curriculum for it to be more well suited sa current students kay we will be discovering the changing needs of the students because change is constant. So there are two ways of looking at a curriculum evaluation. First, curriculum program evaluation. So in here, you will be evaluating the overall aspects of a curriculum as a program, such as the Bachelor of Education as a degree, K-12 as a curricular reform, or mother tongue education as a program. So by evaluating the program, we can use the evaluation models that we will tackle later on, such as the Tyler's objective model and Bradley's effectiveness model. So number 2, components of a curriculum program. So diba in curriculum evaluation, we will examine the curriculum as a program. Now in here, you will examine na po nimo ang contents and processes nga naa sa program, such as the achieved learning outcomes, the teaching learning process, the instructional materials, and the assessment of learning outcomes. So in this lesson, that is lesson 5.1, we will explore the models that we can utilize sa curriculum evaluation plan and the instructional materials evaluation sa components of a curricular program rather. Okay, so as the first reporter, this will be the contents of my report: the curriculum evaluation, a process and a tool, reasons for a curriculum evaluation, and curriculum evaluation models. And I will be tackling the Bradley effectiveness model and the Tyler objective-centered model. So evaluation is both a process and a tool. So can someone please read the evaluation as a process? Okay, Miss Ondoy.
Okay, so as a process, it follows a procedure based on models and frameworks.
Okay, thank you. So evaluation, a curriculum evaluation is a process because of course you will evaluate the curriculum, but dili siya basta-basta lang pag-evaluate. So you need to follow certain procedures to make your evaluation meaningful and reliable through models and frameworks. Maong gitawag siya na process. So can someone read the evaluation as a tool? Okay, Miss Riza Lopez.
So, curriculum evaluation as a tool. As a tool, we help teachers and program implementers to judge the curricular change.
So, curriculum evaluation is a tool because it will be your instrument para maka-evaluate, make judgments sa curricula. So, remember that it is a process because it follows a procedure, and it is a tool because it helps teachers to judge the curriculum itself. Okay, now let's briefly look at how curricularists define curriculum evaluation. So number 1, Alan C. Ornstein and Frances P. Hunkins. So can someone please read their meaning of curriculum evaluation? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Sabanal.
Curriculum evaluation is a process done in order to gather data that enables one to decide whether to accept, change, eliminate the whole curriculum of a textbook.
Okay, so Ornstein and Hunkins define curriculum as a process done by people to make decisions whether to remove parts of the curriculum or an educational textbook. So how about number 2? Can someone please read number 2? Okay, Miss Hardenico.
Okay, number curricularist John D. McNeil, 1977. Meaning of curriculum evaluation. Evaluation answers two questions. 1. Do planned learning opportunities, programs, courses, and activities as developed and organized actually produce desired result? Number 2. How can a curriculum best be improved?
Okay, thank you. So for McNeil, curriculum evaluation attempts to answer these two questions. Ang curriculum, gihimo siya with desired outcomes in mind. So according to McNeil, evaluation daw answers if those desired results are realized. So then after that, it will then help how to make improvements. Okay, how about number 3? Can someone read it? Okay, Miss Nervas.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Alright, so evaluation is to identify the weaknesses and strengths as well as problems encountered in the implementation to improve the curriculum development process. It is to determine the effectiveness of the returns on allocated finance.
Okay, thank you. So, same lang gihapon no, evaluation also aims to make improvement, but diri is to identify its strengths and weaknesses. So, how about the meaning of curriculum evaluation according to Oliva? Okay, Ms. Kaguyong.
It is a process of delineating, obtaining, and providing useful information for judging alternatives for purposes of modifying or eliminating the curriculum.
Okay, so Oliva's definition actually coincides with Ornstein and Hunkins, itong sa pinaka-first. So, it is to evaluate the curriculum to decide whether to eliminate something. Okay, let's proceed sa reasons for curriculum evaluation. So first, can someone please read number 1? Number 1 reason. Okay, Miss Tilio.
Needs assessment. What are the strengths and weaknesses of the curriculum?
Okay, so the curriculum needs assessment because through this, the teachers can analyze the strengths and weaknesses of the learning materials, the content, and everything in the curriculum. And in turn, it will be your instrument to plan and design strategies that you can use for the implementation of the curriculum. So can someone please read number 2? Okay, Mr. Ronel.
Monitoring. Did the curriculum produce the desired results?
So in monitoring, the curriculum should be monitored through gathering information about the implemented curriculum to see to it that the curriculum is producing the desired outcomes. So this is done in the middle of the curriculum development. So can someone please read number 3? How about Ms. Sabanal?
Number 3. Terminal assessment. Did the curriculum exceeded the standards?
So terminal assessment. So if monitoring is done in the middle of curriculum development, ang reason naman na terminal assessment takes place at the end. So in here, we can label the curriculum as successful if na-meet niya yung standards. Mas better if mas na-exceed pa sa standards. So number 4, can someone read number 4? Please, Nervas.
Decision making. What are the policy recommendations?
So, balik-balik lang ang meaning no. Again, evaluation will help sa decision making on what recommendations are needed para ma-enhance ang curriculum para mas ma-realize ang learning outcomes. Okay, let's proceed sa curriculum evaluation models. So first is the Bradley effectiveness model. So by using this model, you should first, of course, choose the curriculum you will evaluate. So for example, you are going to evaluate the grade 9 high school English curriculum. Then you need to evaluate if the curriculum answers yes or no. So as you can see, naa siya yung mga indicators. So you need to look if the curriculum meets these indicators for it to be called effective. Okay, so first indicator, vertical curriculum continuity. So can someone please read the first indicator? Okay, Miss Eben.
Vertical curriculum continuity. Does the curriculum reflect the format, for example, K-12, OBE, inquiry, and more, that enables teachers to quickly assess what is being taught in the grade or year levels below or above the current level? For example, if you are looking at Science 5, below means Science 4 and above means Science 6.
Okay, thank you. So, in the first indicator, you need to evaluate the vertical curriculum continuity. If the curriculum is consistent, if it links from one lesson to another program of study, if the curriculum links to the past curriculum and the next curriculum to avoid curricular repetition. So, second, horizontal curriculum continuity. So if the curriculum is aligned or mirrors what other students from the same grade level are learning. So example, if ang curriculum ba sa students in this section, in this particular subject, is aligned ba sa laing section pud nga same grade lang. So third indicator, instruction based on curriculum. Our lesson plans or syllabi course design derived from the curriculum and strategies are materials used correlated with the content, objectives, and activities. So if the methods, materials, and the learning activities used are specified by a curriculum. So this is to see para ang gigamit ba nimo sa pagtudlo is relevant ba para sa curriculum. So next indicator, the curriculum priority. So clerical assistance is provided and reasonable stipends are paid to teachers for work. So in addition, curriculum topics appear on school board agendas, administrative meeting agendas, and building staff meeting agendas. So fifth indicator is the broad involvement. So can someone please read the broad involvement? Kini sa banal.
Broad involvement. Is there evidence of involvement of the different curriculum stakeholders in the planning, designing, and implementation and review of the curriculum?
So, di ba, teachers are not the only people nga interested sa curriculum. Kuan po ng stakeholders like parents, mga principals, and administrators are also a big part of that. So, in here, you will answer if there is involvement ba with other stakeholders and if they approve the course study. The sixth, the long range planning. So each program ba is included in the sequence and review cycle. So the seventh indicator, decision making clarity. So controversies that occur during the development of a program center on the nature of the decision and not on who makes the decision. So 8, positive human relations. Did the initial thoughts about the curriculum come from the teachers, principals, curriculum leaders, and other stakeholders? So all participating members are willing to risk disagreeing with anyone else, and if the communication lines ba wala nag-breakdown. So the ninth indicator, theory into practice. Is there clarity of vision, mission, graduation outcomes, program philosophy, learning outcomes in the curriculum? So, diri nimo tan-awon kung consistent ba and recognizable ang na-mention. So, diri nga model, no, kanang in this model dapat naka-yes siya tanan para matawag na effective ang curriculum. But if there is a no, then an intervention should be done to make it a yes. So, di ba, that is the purpose of evaluation, to improve the curriculum. So, next model is the Tyler Objective-Centered Model. So, di ba, we are all familiar with Ralph Tyler now. So, we encountered him multiple times sa mga past discussions. So, his proposed model influenced many other assessment processes today, and it is one of the best-known models for curriculum development. So, di ba, as you can remember, there are 4 basic principles sa kaninga model. Purpose, identifying experiences, organizing experience, and evaluating effectiveness. So, let's proceed sa mismong model niya. So, first curriculum element, the objectives or intended learning outcomes. Okay, can someone please read number 1? Okay, Miss Tilio.
Objectives or intended learning outcomes. Predetermined intended learning outcomes or objectives.
Okay. So sa kaning element, begin with the behavioral objectives that have been previously determined. So those objectives should specify both the content of learning and the student behavior expected. So number 2, situation or context. So can someone please read number 2? Okay, Miss Sumalinog.
Number 2, situation or context. Identify the situation or context that gives opportunity to develop behavior or achieve objectives.
So sa kanina element, identify the situations that will give students the opportunity to express the behavior nga naa sa objective ug unsa ang mga nag-evoke sa behavior. So example, if you wish to assess oral language use, so you should identify situations that evoke oral language. So number 3, someone please read number 3. Okay, Ms. Lopez.
Number 3, evaluation instruments or tools. Select, modify, and construct evaluation instruments or tool. Check its objectivity, reliability, and validity.
Okay, number 4. Can someone please read number 4? Kanang utilization of tool. Okay, Ms. Rondina.
Utilization of tool. Utilize the tools to obtain results. Compare the results obtained from several instruments before and after the determine the change.
Okay, so use that instruments earlier na akong i-discuss to obtain summarized or appraised results. So in order to estimate the amount of change taking place, compare the results. Okay, 5th curriculum element, the analysis of results. So analyze the results obtained to determine strengths and weaknesses, identify possible explanation about the reasons for the particular pattern. So identify possible explanations about the reason for this particular pattern of strengths and weaknesses. So last element is the utilization of results. So can someone please read number 6? Last na lang jud. Okay, Ms. Undoy.
Okay, number 6, utilization of results. Use the results to make the necessary
Okay, so
modifications.
use the results to make the necessary modifications in the curriculum. So again, nag-evaluate ta to modify and improve the curriculum. So it all boils down to that. So thank you everyone for participating, and I hope you picked up knowledge about my report. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much everyone. So let's call it a day.